Hey everybody, good afternoon. This is Sami with T3 Live. We have the open house going on. Today is the second day, and just wanted to do a watch list review and prep for the afternoon so you know what I'm looking to do. And I typically like to do this at lunch, but I got involved in a trade at lunch, and so it delayed my scanning. And so let's get started. Before I start with the watch list prep, I'll go ahead and show you what I did for today. The trade that I got involved in was the BSX, and BSX I played as a climactic buy setup, wide range, huge bar on the daily chart. Just look at the range. It's at least 2-3 times the size of the average bar, and then it got a small volume spike at lunch. Or closer to 1 o'clock. And just notice it wasn't a huge volume spike, but notice the acceleration that it got at lunch after putting in this kind of a bar. And notice the volume, right? When you have the stock dropping and it's accelerating. Notice, how can you tell it's accelerating? Well, look at the angle of the moving average and look at the angle of the price, the speed. So if you just draw a line between price and the moving average, you'll see that it's increasing, right? So that's how you can tell a stock is accelerating. And then at the same time, look at the volume increasing. So that tells me that novice people are panicking out of the stock. So I actually called this or posted it into the room as an idea over 66. It should have been over 65 by 55. So kind of an 11-cent stop, call it 15, and it got to the target. It wasn't huge, but nice little play. Probably continues higher, to tell you the truth, later on. Notice the first bar was the wide range bar, and the bars at the top here are small. That suggests higher prices still. Again, I just did it from here to there, and wasn't a huge play or anything like this, but it made 580 bucks. The other two trades, I'll show you the AMD first. The AMD was a breakdown play, and I liked it at 1106, under 1106, and or thought it was 1106. There it is, short, and it made new lows, and the bar that made new lows got taken out right away, so no follow through. I really don't have any patience to stocks that don't follow through. So I killed it. I lost 1 penny on it. I had 3,000 shares, and so I lost, basically should have lost $30, but I lost 28 because I probably got filled at like 1106,999 instead of 1107, but lost about a penny on this. And I think it continued higher, so I would have actually taken a stop if it was up, if I didn't kill it. It was up $180 at the lows, but it wasn't a target, and I thought it would drop more, but it didn't. So that was the AMD. The CWH was a bit more interesting. I had 3 trades on the CWH. The first one worked, the second one failed, and the third one worked as well. The first one was a breakout, just a beautiful base breakout with a lot of relative strength to the market, and it was about a 20-cent stop, but I undersized it, sized it to 30 cents. Really, 46.05 by 45.85. Nice big pop right away. Took it on that initial pop, and then it set up again as 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, and then you got a couple of inside bars there, couple of inside bars, and then so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I played it long right here, and notice the big volume. This kind of volume should produce some follow-through. It really should produce some follow-through, and it didn't. The next bar was also a high volume bar, and no follow-through at all. So I raised the stop and killed it early, but I still lost on it. And then, okay, no problem. Made some money there, lost a little bit there, and then let me show you on the 15-minute chart what I saw, what it did. So here it is, breakout and failure. So I saw this coming once the stock put in these two narrow range bars and shorted under 46.20. I raised the stop to 46.30, so I was already out, and then under 40, it should be 46.20. I don't know where, that's 46.15. That's 46.20. So I was actually in it in this bar, and what I like to do with momentum stocks is go bar by bar. So what I did was I went bar by bar on this, got the wide range bar, trailed it out over 55. I actually lifted the offer when it was still at 53 because I could see on the level 2 that it was about to pop, but I still got filled at 61 and 62, mostly at 61, even though I tried to exit at 53. Overall, nice little play on the CWH. I used to do most of my management on a bar-by-bar basis, like I did with the CWH, but in 2017, this year, the market stopped, it started to grind a lot, and the momentum kind of disappeared. I mean, if we look at the Qs, just take a look at the Qs like today, right? Maybe hourly chart, just to see what it's doing. Here is the entire day today. That's it, pretty much. Here's the entire day. Well, yesterday we moved a little more. These are actually 2 days. So 6 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the entire day yesterday. I mean, right? That's it. Maybe I don't know if the red bar was from yesterday or the day before. I don't think it was from yesterday. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I like to do bar by bar management, and I feel very, very sure that it beats 90% of all management methods. Check it out. Compare your management to bar by bar and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I only like to do it when there's momentum in the market, when the stock that I'm playing has a lot of momentum. And in 2017, I feel like the momentum got sucked out of the market. All right, let me do the watch list review here. The reason why I'm doing the review is so that if you're watching it live, you have something to look at for the afternoon, okay? I actually already know what my favorites are, and these are the 3 favorites. AMD as a short, right? Looks good, sell setup. What doesn't look good about it is the sloppiness. The breakdown that I didn't follow through earlier today, and now we broke above the pivot. It still, though, looks okay lower, pretty weak on the daily. If it can maybe base a little bit more after declining 20, that would be good, I think. DPZ, same idea, but it needs to break under the base here. And then the third one I'm missing out on already is the Momo. That's the favorite. Should have been under 60. Let me just take a look. MOMO. Wow, I'm 10 cents late. The stop should be over 26.30. So it's an 80 cent stop. Looks lower, but 80 cents, and then the target would be 24.80. So it's only another also 70 cents to target. So it doesn't have the reward to risk, but looks the best to me. And I don't think I can use this as a stop. The reason is I can always use the prior bar's high as a stop if the moving average is there. But if it isn't, it's extended, what often happens is you get sucked in, stops you out, and maybe it drops, but without you. So that's the issue. But I really, really like the Momo the most. My biggest concern is the reward to risk. Which it is at the moment, stop is over 26.30, that's 80 cents. And if we say the target is the low of the day, 24.80, that's 70 cents. So it doesn't even have a reward to risk of 1-to-1. Most of the time you want to see 2-to-1 minimum. At the same time, this is the favorite idea short. So, okay. Again, if you're watching live, that's kind of my favorite idea short. Let's take a look at the rest of the list. BITA looks really, really weak. But there's no setup on the BITA. BNS looks okay. Under this bar's low, under 78. Market is starting to come in. Stop would be over 08. So BNS, not too bad. CHGG, I was watching as a climactic short, but it's gone already. So that's a little late. And then DPZ, It's on the favorites. I already went over it. FE is a sell setup, bad daily chart at the rising 20, but right here short, stop above the highs. PBF is going already. A base breakdown plus a 1, 2, 3. So this one looks pretty good too. The biggest issue that I see is it's at the rising 20 on the daily. That's often an area of demand. But the other issue is the extension, right, away from the 20. Short would be right here, stop above the base. So it's an idea. I'll put it on the favorites along with these other three. And then the PSA sell setup, strong retracement. So this is going to be on an uptrend, in an uptrend on the 5-minute chart, and it is. So what I do is I like to have multiple time frame alignment. So before I short something, I want to make sure it broke the uptrend on the smaller time frames. So what I'll do is I'll wait for the buy setup failure. And here's the Momo if anybody wants. Under 50. Stop would be 30, 80 cents. And maybe it goes below the low of the day. That's an idea, okay, on Momo. So I'll wait for a buy setup failure here on the PSA. And then the S-Fund, too strong of a retracement. It would need now to break under 57 before it's a short. So it's not quite ready. And in the TCF, this was actually a short, long in the black room, called by Ifan, who is a co-moderator in the room. He's a veteran trader. He's been trading for a long time. And I believe he just trailed out. So an awesome play. That was an official trade also in the black room. And I believe he just trailed the last lot. And I think Momo triggered short. So it's an idea. Momo failed to follow through today. I mean, didn't follow through on any breakdown, but in my opinion, this is the best, except for the reward to risk. This is the best because we're actually breaking under all the support levels here, right? But except for the reward to risk, which is pretty important. These are some swing watches. FEYE is a really nice sell setup on the daily chart. The one thing that I'm watching for, or I want to look for, is to see a base under the moving average here. Maybe its base is around $14. That would allow the 20-period moving average to curl and give us the breakdown. So that's what I'm watching for, but I like the FEYE as a swing short. The RWLK, I tried to get it at 115. This is a small stock, I know, but it's available to short. I just didn't get filled. It's part of the pilot program, so it has 5-cent spread, unfortunately. It looks really, really weak to me. It looks slower. It looks like it's going to zero. Breaking the all-time lows on the monthly. That's the weekly, breaking the support, obviously. And then the daily, gap down and based for a few days. So it looks slower. Looks slower. Okay, and then MTSI, sell setup on the daily chart. I'd like to see what I'm worried about. I'd like to see a base here. What I'm worried about is it's already 3-4 red bars in a row. So I don't want to get sucked in only to see it go back up. So what I'd like to see maybe is either a longer base or a pop and then a drop to confirm the bearishness. So that's what I'm going to be watching it for. The IPGP is kind of the most interesting of the bunch because of the long-term time frames. Look at the weekly chart. Isn't that a beauty? Absolutely beautiful. As a short, monthly, going a little climactic there. Not a little. Every single bar has been a green bar the entire year. And now we're getting the biggest bars. We don't have the volume spike, but pretty interesting. The daily is not a great time. I mean, it doesn't look great on the daily chart, but here's the short. Could be a long-term trade. Missed out on the SQ yesterday. That was my favorite short watch. And I tell you the truth, I didn't feel good yesterday about missing out on the SQ because I think in the video I also went over it. If you look at the SQ monthly chart, just look at this. Look at the volume, the wide range bar, right? Weekly and then daily, and I just couldn't figure out a way in. Told the black room yesterday that this will probably close at the lows, and it sure did. So, and then the same was, but maybe even better, was the XNet because it was more extended, but the same exact idea. Climactic monthly, weekly climactic totally. Stock was crazy this year. Went from like, look at this, $3, 3.15 to 27 in just a few months, right? 3, 4, 5 months. And this was also just as good. Like I said, is better than the SQ, but this is hard to borrow for me. So, whereas the SQ wasn't, and so I didn't feel as bad about missing out on the XNet, but unfortunately I missed out on both. The longs for the afternoon, they're failing because the market, if you look at the market, just came in hard. Actually, the ALK, which is an airline, is not budging at all. So that has relative strength to the market, showing relative strength at the moment to the market. The BLDR came in, so a lot of, probably most of these longs are going to be, the patterns are going to be damaged because of the move that we got in the market. Ovis, wow, that's gone. That's gone. POT is a long-term idea, actually. It's I like it on the 15, but I like it a lot more on the longer time frames. Look at the monthly chart. That's a beauty. Look at the weekly time frame. Looks good too. And then the daily just needs to go back up there. Intraday looks higher over the base. Again, not budging with the market also, just like the ALK. RDUS is failing. SYY bullish, but way up already and into resistance. So I don't actually like it. XOM is failing, and WGO I believe also had no follow through. See, I don't like to. This was actually my favorite long watch for the afternoon, but extended. I like to play them when they're right off the 20 MA, especially in the afternoon. In the morning, the momentum from the gap can can push the stock higher or lower, regardless of the extension. But in the afternoon, you really need to have that rising 20, which we clearly didn't have here. Big green bar, nice volume, and no follow through at all. So total failure there. So those are kind of the things that I'm going to be looking at this afternoon. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a nice day. Again, today is the second day of the open house. If you want to stop by, check us out, feel free. All right, and I'll talk to you guys soon, hopefully. Take care, everybody.